Alright, number 10 and 11 we're going to do together. They're similar, they're both radicals. Let's go really quickly through these. You're going to take what's outside the parentheses by both things. Inside the parentheses, that's called the distributive property. When we take 5 square root of 2 times 3 square root of 12, we multiply the numbers together and get 15, and then we multiply what's underneath the radicals together. So square root of 2 times the square root of 12 is the square root of 24. So we distributed our first one. Let's distribute it to the second number. So we're going to do the same thing. We take our numbers times each other, so we get 20. And then we have the square root of 2 times the square root of 2. Let's not write that out. Everyone should know a square root of a number times the square root of the same number is just the number. You need to memorize this, because we know the square root of 2 times the square root of 2 is going to be the square root of 4, which is 2. But if you know the square root of a number times itself is just going to be the number itself, it'll save you a lot of steps. So here we have the square root of 2 times the square root of 2 is simply 2. 4 times the square root of 2, these are multiplied together. So this is going to be multiplied together. Now we can simplify the square root of 24. That's going to be the square root of 4 times the square root of 6 minus 40. Square root of 4 is 2. These are all multiplied together. So it's 15 times 2 square root of 6 minus 40. And so it's going to be 30 square root of 6 minus 40. Looks easy when I do it, doesn't it? Alright, let's move to the next one. Number 11 is very similar. It's almost the same problem. I'm surprised they have something so similar on the test. Okay, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to take this times this and this times this. It's the distributive property. Negative 6 times 5 is negative 30. Here we go again. Square root of 2 times the square root of 2 is simply 2. Negative 5 times negative 6 is going to be plus 30. Square root of 2, square root of 10 is square root of 20. Here we get negative 60 plus 30 square root of 4 square root of 5. That's 20 is just broken into a perfect square and what's left. So we get negative 60 plus 30 times square root of 4 is 2, square root of 5, minus 60 plus 60 square root of 5 is your final answer. Alright, let's hit number 12, scientific notation. There's a couple different ways to go about this problem. I think it's easiest just to multiply the numbers together. You won't have to write this step out, you can just put it right in your calculator. This times 200, the number times the number, and then 10 to the negative 10 times 10 to the 8. I'm just grouping together the exponents and the ones that don't have exponents. And then, of course, the bottom, there's no exponent, so I'm just going to recopy it. Now I can multiply the number part together. If I take 0.006 times 200, I get 1.2. And then if I we're going to add, the bases are the same, so we add our exponents, we multiply. So we get times 10 to the minus 2. Then at the bottom, believe it or not, we take this big number times this little number times this big number, and we get, we still get 12,000. And then we're going to divide the number parts together. This is all on your calculator, so you put 1.2 divided by 12,000, and we get 0.0001 times 10 to the minus 2. It would almost be done, but they're asking you to, they didn't say to write it in scientific notation, but simplify means writing it in scientific notation. So we're going to move the decimal point over 1, 2, 3, 4 places to the right. In order for it to be in scientific notation, it has to be after the first significant digit. So it's going to be 1.0. We moved it 2 places to the right, so we're going to subtract 4. When you move it to the right, you subtract 4 from the exponent to the negative 6. And that is your final answer. So let's move on to this next one. These can get confusing. People start forgetting whether they should add exponents or multiply exponents, but let's look at this. This is again the distributed property. So we're going to take this times this, and this times this, one at a time. So we're going to take this times this. There's no numbers. We take 3 times whatever number. It's a 1 here, so we write 3. We add our exponents when we multiply. So k to the minus 3, k to the third would be k to the 0, and we know that anything to the 0 power is 1. So we don't write anything. And then the c squared is going to cross out with this c squared, so that's going to be 1. So all we have left when we multiply these is a 3. Let's move on to the next one. We take the number times the number. 3 times 5, it's negative, is negative 15. Add our exponents. K minus 3 plus minus 3 is minus 6. C squared times c to the negative 2. We're going to add our exponents, which would be 0. C to the 0 is 1, so we don't write anything. So this is the final answer.